Hi, guys. Welcome to the panel today on CBD and sexual wellness. My name is Caroline Barry, and I'm a journalist with the CANNAVIST magazine in the UK. We are a magazine that focuses on CBD and medical cannabis. I would like to thank Sex Tech Berlin for inviting us to moderate this panel on CBD and sexual wellness and introduce my guests, Raven Faber and also Buck Angel, and invite them to join me on the panel.
Cool. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hi, Buck, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. It's 6 o'clock at night in the UK at the moment, so you might have to bear with me after a long day. So
Oh,
Yeah,
I feel you. No
yeah,
judgment here. None
yeah.
whatsoever. We
It's
got
COVID.
kids and like
Yeah,
oh,
COVID and yeah.
yeah. We got kids and COVID. It's a big thing.
that is absolutely no joke. So I'd like to start with some introductions so that if there's anybody out there that isn't sure who you guys are, what you do, what CBD is, that we just give them a quick introduction. Raven, would you like to start?
Sure. I need an introduction because I'm still on the come up. So, yeah. My name's Raven Faber. I am the founder and CEO of Engerotics. Engerotics is short for Engineered Erotics. And we were actually, as I was telling you in the green room, we were at the Cannabis party back in February. We won Best CBD Topical for our O Nectar massage
Fantastic.
oil. So, we got one last party in before all this, all that stuff. So, yeah, I founded the company in 2016, and we're just, weathering our way through COVID as a canna sex tech company. So it's been an adventure.
Fantastic. And Buck, what about yourself?
So I really started in the sexual wellness space 20 years ago. I created the genre of trans male pornography. And with that, I really got sucked into sexual wellness. And then through that, I found CBD. As a person who is sober and doesn't use drugs and alcohol for 30 plus years. Getting into the cannabis world was, sort of iffy for me being a sober person. But finding CBD as an alternative to sort of like a psychotropic space was amazing. And so then I got into it and I couldn't even believe the stuff. Look at me. Every time I talk about CBD, I'm like, everyone needs to be using CBD. I just can't
Agreed.
tell you it. Yeah, it is. I feel so blessed to be in the industry. Look at Raven, you, all these amazing
Oh,
people are in it. No, seriously. And there's a lot of women in it, which I'm really very,
Mhm.
very happy to see that,
yeah.
right? Where we really get to promote women of color, all kinds of different kinds of women, trans. It's just amazing. So for me, CBD has been now a part of my business. So now moving into sexual wellness through CBD has been a big part of my business.
Yay.
Fantastic. I mean, Buck, I've interviewed you before for the Cannabist for, I think, what was our last issue before COVID
Yeah,
hit.
yeah.
So feels like a million years ago now. But okay, so Raven, I'd like to start with
Sure.
yourself. How do you feel CBD can promote sexual wellness?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's a big answer. There is so much that CBD is capable of doing when it comes to enhancing the sexual experience. And that's really where I start because most people that learn about CBD, they think you have to be in pain, right? Like, oh, well, what's CBD going to do for me? Like, I don't have any sort of pain. Well, you don't have to have any sort of pain. I mean, CBD is a vasodilator. So, I mean, for everybody who doesn't know what that means, that it opens up your blood vessels so you can get more blood flow of fresh oxygenated blood into the area. So this helps to promote things like increased lubrication, increased sensitivity. Not to mention what it does for you on a neurological level. Plugging into your endocannabinoid system and that overall sense of relief and wellness, so you can get out of a bad headspace into a good headspace, so you can actually get off. And for people who actually have, conditions, I mean, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm an engineer. However, are many people out there that suffer from things like vaginismus, vulvodynia, endometriosis, and
Mhm.
there are people out there that are using CBD for that just so that they don't have pain during their sexual experience, which is huge. So it's there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, yeah, getting off is part of it, of course, but on a much deeper level, helping to restore dignity and quality of life, sense of self. I mean, all of those tie into, yourself as a sexual being, So yeah, that's the short answer. The really short answer.
It was a great answer.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I do agree with you. I've interviewed people with endometriosis in particular over the last year, and the amount of pain relief that they've gotten from CBD is incredible. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, it truly is amazing. And it's just it sounds really cliche, but life changing for many people, life changing. And, as a business owner, as a consumer, life changing. Like,
Mhm.
whoever CBD touches, I mean, pun intended, it does have the capacity to change your life. So, yeah, it is an incredible thing to be involved with.
And Buck, I'm going to ask you about, you mentioned earlier on about diversity within the CBD industry.
Mhm.
How do you feel that CBD companies can align themselves with the LGBT community in particular when it comes to sexual wellness?
So that's an excellent question. Thanks for asking that. So my company does specifically deal with the LGBT community, and I do that because there wasn't. Now people are
Mhm.
starting to, but when I started 5 years ago with my CBD and my cannabis stuff, there wasn't anybody focusing on the LGBT community. So stood up to that because really, people. I want to do a little backstory here. People don't understand that the legalization of cannabis in the United States came from the gay community. And that's because of HIV and AIDS. 30 years ago, we had a drug called Marinol that was legalized through the pharmaceutical company because of gay men and AIDS. And so people don't know the backstory about the fact that the gay population is the one that legalized cannabis in the United States. So that being said, I really feel like we as an LGBT community need to be involved in this particularly magical medication that can literally change people's space. And what Raven was talking about in general for myself and the LGBT community, specifically trans men, CBD helps with us in our vaginal atrophy that happens or dryness that happens with use of testosterone. This has been a really huge part of my work in talking about I'm a man with a vagina. It's not an easy space to be in, but that being said, I have a vagina and I can't pretend like I don't have it. And so there's many, many men like me, and we need to talk about these things. And by using CBD, we can actually talk about our own transgender health within the CBD community. That's something that's not being talked about. I'm kind of like the only one doing that right now. So I need my voice. By giving me a platform like this, it gives my voice that space for people to see how important it is that we as a community can also benefit from not only using it, but also creating jobs, creating businesses, creating space for all of us, because this is going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry. And
Yeah.
I think marginalized, thank
Yeah.
you, marginalized communities need to be a part of this. And I come from a marginalized community. And so I'm very blessed in the sense that I got to create a business and then I'm an entrepreneur, but not everybody gets to get in that space. So I think by
No.
people like Raven and I being in this, we're able to show our communities, hey, look, you can do this too. And this product is so powerful and amazing. And I'm all about natural medicine. So that being said, it's a natural medication, which is totally awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a nutshell.
I the short answer. I have to commend both of you for that as well. Like in particular, Buck, interviewing you before, and as a member of the LGBT community myself, you know, I I applaud you for being vocal on that as well, because it genuinely there are not enough LGBT,
No.
not enough minority voices within the canna industry, and there needs to be.
Representation
100%.
is so important. Representation is so important. I mean, like we're finally in an age, like, my kids, like my daughter has a book that's all about I love my hair, and my kids have books
Um,
that say, I love my brown skin.
yeah.
And I didn't have that when I was a little
Mhm.
girl. Like, I'm
Mhm.
34 years old. So, I was coming of age, through the 90s, and I was 14 years old in the year 2000. We didn't have any of that. Like, I didn't
Mhm.
see women that look like me being engineers, leading companies, like, and we still have a long way to go. So, representation, so, 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 so important. So
So
important.
important, especially, and I'm going
Yes.
to say it as a white dude, people of color. Come
Yeah.
on, man. Let's talk about this. People of color in prison. And whether or not
Yes.
you're a person of color or not, we have people in prison, but the majority being people of color who are in there for cannabis. Are you
For
kidding?
cannabis.
Like me and you are
Yeah.
making money off of it. People are in prison, and this is not. That's why we really need to talk about it. And I
We
really love
do.
seeing people of color, LGBT, marginalized communities given the opportunity to create. It will change their lives. Just give people an opportunity to change their lives. They will become great part of our community. They'll become part of society. Isn't that what we want? We want people to
Yeah.
be great in
Mhm.
society, and we give people opportunities and they become amazing people.
And I know we have specific questions, but I have to add that
Yeah,
intersectionality is so
that's right.
important. So,
Mhm.
being at the intersection of being a woman and being Black. And then there are like Black women who are also lesbian. There are
Mhm.
Black women
Right.
who have transitioned. There are, we got Buck here, and he's a man with a vagina. That's a
Mhm.
huge intersection. And it's
Yeah,
like, it's not black and white. It's not this or that. It's not male
yeah.
or female. It is like very, very, very fluid. And historically, especially now, we're seeing it now for cannabis
Mhm.
companies, a lot of
Mhm.
the funding, a lot of the investment money from VCs, from
Mhm.
angels, are going to heterosexual, cisgendered white men.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
women like me, individuals like Buck, like, it's not that, Buck's got a platform though. Like, I've known about him. Like, I'm gonna be on this panel with Buck Angel. Like, they didn't want to find somebody else who was famous. Okay, little opening. All right. But
But
I
I
mean,
had to climb my way. Being in the porn business, people look at you like you're trash when you work in the pornography business. It was
oh
not easy for
man,
me to get to this space. But anyways, who cares? I'm the fighting kind of dude. So
I
you know what I
care.
mean? Yeah.
We care. We
We
care.
care.
Thank you.
So my next question is kind of directed for both of you, and it's what's the best way for somebody who might be curious about CBD for sexual wellness? What's the best way to enter what is sort of a niche or potentially intimidating space?
Shameless plug, the best way is to either shop with me or Buck. That's the best way. You just come see us. That's the
That's
best
right.
way. But I mean, not really kidding. Just kidding. Sorry, whatever. Um, but in general, personal recommendations and doing your due diligence is so important
Right.
because CBD is not regulated for quality or safety. It's the same type of thing with sex toys, which is why I got into Canna Sex Tech as an engineer. There's nothing holding manufacturers accountable for
Mhm.
quality or safety. So it is so important to do your research, to do your due diligence, to ask a friend what has been working for them. Where do I shop? What brands have been working for
Mhm.
you? Follow reputable companies, follow me, follow Buck,
Mhm.
follow Engerotics, like whatever.
Mhm.
And then experiment. Like, once you find a good recommendation, get those products, get enough education about the products, like, huh, this might work, but just know that we're all different. We're all built differently. Like, CBD, that's the beauty about CBD. Like, the fun is really in the experimentation,
Mhm.
in my opinion. So some people really love them, some topicals. Some people like to incorporate like a gummy or a
Mhm.
tincture or vape, into their foreplay. And that's cool. That is super cool. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, due diligence, experiment, like, in a nutshell.
I mean, basically, you just answered the question. I mean, the thing I want to add is what you already said was not all CBD is created equal. Not all companies are held to standards. Not everyone cares about what you're getting. They only care to make money, like any business out there. And any business that's on its way to make $1 billion, you don't think anybody and everybody's just jumping in the game? Of course they are. So that's why you need, same with sex toys. People just make junk out there. So you can literally go buy $10 sex toy, or you can buy a $200 sex toy. And that's what's going to creation. Now, I'm going to tell you that price point in CBD doesn't always make it a better or worse product. Exactly what Raven said, you got to do your due diligence, and you got to, there's so many places to choose from. There really is. So you got to think, what kind of company do I want to support? Because I do think that's a big deal. When I shop anywhere, I always look at the back end of that company. Where do they put their money? Where's it coming from? Where's it going? Those are very important parts of especially the cannabis business. Are they supporting LGBT? Are they supporting people of color? Are they supporting marginalized communities? For me, that's an important part of a company message. And so really just exactly what Raven said, and I'm just putting on, not all companies are created equal.
They're really not. And I'm really happy that you brought up the price point because, you know, for us, we're e-com. We don't have I don't have a desire to have a brick and mortar store. So we don't have the sort of bills and overhead that a brick and mortar store would. I work wherever my kids go and my laptop goes. That's where my office is. Like my office has been all across the country, like in every room of the house. And so we don't have to, like, our prices don't reflect like, hey, we got to make rent. Hey, we got to keep the lights on. Like we have a small team. We're a bootstrapped company. We can stay really competitive with our prices while offering a superb product. I mean, of course I'm biased, but superb.
Oh no, you have a superb product. No, you have a superb product. I know that about you. So I'm telling you, I've been in the game for a long time. You're an awesome company. So I'm going to give you a plug there. No, I'm not kidding. And really, I believe in your product. It's excellent. Excellent product.
Tell everybody. Tell everybody. Tell all your fans. We just got over that.
You actually created your own business. You weren't whining, blah, can't do anything. You literally went and did it, and you still do it every day. You work hard to create that space.
I didn't have a choice. It was
well,
either
you
do
did
that
you
or
did
be
have a choice. But you did have a choice. You had a choice to lay down and cry about it, or you had a choice to pick yourself up and make something of you. Look at that. That's
oh my goodness.
powerful.
Right here in the feels.
Powerful.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you to say. Thank you.
That's fun. It's a fantastic end to the panel. I'm definitely feeling the love from that one. Guys, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Is there anything that you'd like to plug quickly before you go? Raven, start with yourself.
Sure. I mean, we are, we're available in a few stores right now. Adam and Eve just picked us up, and then there's another. Yeah, thank you. Another erotic boutique down south in Kentucky that'll be opening soon. I would really like to plug our award-winning O Nectar massage oil. It won Best CBD Topical at USA CBD Expo earlier this year before COVID kicked off, and I was at the CANNAVIST launch party. It was amazing. It is fantastic. So go check it out.
Excellent. So I'm just going to say this real quick. I got the buckshot. So look at this. Google it. This stuff is amazing. It's the very first erection drink with CBD on the market in the whole wide world. I can't keep the guys away from this. I literally sell out of it daily. So, there's my little plug. The buckshot. Don't forget that.
I'm not going to give that to my husband because we've been in the house since March, and it's like, man, I'd be tired. All right.
That's right. Animal.
You know,
you animal.
I can't have him running around here with a permanent erection. You know, like.
And on that note,
thank you, everybody.
Guys. Thank you so much. It's lovely to meet you. Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye now.
My name is Priscilla Goncilio. I am the president of CBDIA, the Cannabinoid Industry Association.
I'm Len May. I am the CEO and co-founder of EndoCanna Health. Super grateful to have the opportunity to speak to all of you about the future of hemp and CBD as a wellness and therapeutic product. We believe in education, research, and validation, not just through science, but through personalization. So think about it this way, 33% of consumers have purchased a CBD product. 62% have heard of CBD. It's not bad. Thinking that this is a prohibited, unregulated substance that is still illegal in many parts of the world. And we're talking about cannabidiol, which is a cannabinoid found in the cannabis plant. So 92% of consumers do not know if CBD products are even federally regulated. Do you? Well, some believe that CBD is just another name of marijuana. And 51% believe that CBD is intoxicating. Is it intoxicating? Well, it is psychoactive, but it's not necessarily intoxicating. And it does work as an adverse agonist of THC. When some people say, I consume too much THC, perhaps CBD may be a solution. And 66% believe that all CBD products are safe. Well, there's over 500,000 people that die of acetaminophen every single year. There's no such thing as everything is safe. Sugar, caffeine, but you have to know what's right for you.
I've been in the cannabis and hemp space for the last 15 years. I'm co-founder of the original Breeders League, an award-winning cannabis genetics farm. At our farm, we breed both cannabis and CBD cultivars for various climates and regions throughout the world, and for different purposes such as fiber, cannabinoids, terpenes, and oil production. Throughout that process, it was also sometimes necessary to assist with educating the market and government agencies to advise on legislation, policy reform, and industry development. Since the early 20th century, the use of cannabis was rejected by the Western culture at large. In the United States, a wave of regulations made access to cannabis much more difficult starting from the late 1900s, which ultimately led to the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 that made effectively cannabis use a federal crime. Meanwhile, prohibition in Canada lasted for 85 years until being lifted by recent changes in the law. The cannabis plant, however, has a much deeper history than that. The cannabis plant has been widely regarded for its therapeutic potential for many millennia by different cultures worldwide. This information comes to us from MedRelief. It focuses on the medical uses of cannabis discovered by many cultures over time, with applications dating back to ancient empires such as Rome, Egypt, and China.